Okay. Dear students, in the previous video, we see about the equivalent circuit of the transformer. So that is the equivalent circuit parameters, that is the shunt parameters and series parameters. So in this video, we will see about the losses of the transformers and regulation of the transformers and the efficiency of the transformer, and what is the condition for the maximum efficiency, and what is the condition for the regulation, maximum regulation, and what is the condition for the minimum regulation, that is the zero regulation. So coming to the losses of the transformers, the transformer losses are basically two types of losses: iron losses and copper losses. So whereas in case of the DC machines, we have the three types of losses: iron losses, copper losses, and mechanical losses. So here we don't have the mechanical losses. Why? Because the transformer is a static device, so there is no rotating part, so that's why the mechanical losses will be zero in the transformer. So that's why the losses in the transformers are mainly iron losses and copper losses. So coming to the losses in the transformer, so the iron losses are divided into hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. However, the description for these losses are already we seen in the DC motor subject. So what is the hysteresis losses? Because of the magnetic reversals of the dipoles, we get the some losses. Those losses are nothing but hysteresis losses, and normally these losses are occur in the magnetic core, and those losses are can be given by the empirical formula. WH is directly proportional to the Bm to the power of 1.6 F into V watts, and the WH is equal to KH into Bm to the power of 1.6 F into V. And as the hysteresis loop width will be more, then the hysteresis losses will be more, and as the hysteresis loop width is very less, that means linear, then the hysteresis losses are very less. So for a transformer, for better efficiency, we consider the material which have the hysteresis loop width is very low. That material is nothing but CRGO steel, cool rolled gain oriented steel, for the transformer core. And similarly, eddy current losses. So what are the eddy current losses means? The eddy current losses are because of the circulating currents present in the magnetic core of the transformer, we will get the eddy current losses. So in order to reduce these eddy current losses, what we do, we have to minimize the circulating currents. So to reduce the circulating currents, we can make our transformer core with laminations, and by providing with proper insulation in between those laminations. So however, the eddy current losses also given by the one empirical formula. That formula is nothing but WE is directly proportional to Bm square F square V square T square, or WE is equal to some KE into Bm square into F square into V square. And these terms description we already known. Bm means maximum flux density, and F means the frequency, and V is the voltage, like that. So these are the iron losses present in the transformer, and to overcome the hysteresis losses, we go for the CRGO steel material, high permeability steel material, and low hysteresis loop material. And to reduce the eddy current losses, we go for the laminations. And coming to the next losses, that means the copper losses. These copper losses are mainly occurring in two ways in the transformer. Where means in case of the DC machines, we get the three ways: armature copper losses, and shunt field copper losses, and series field copper losses. But here we get the only two losses. What are the two losses? Copper losses because of the copper winding present in the primary side and the present in the secondary side. So in the primary side, we have the primary copper losses that can be given as the I1 square R1, and in the secondary side, we have the secondary side copper losses that can be given as the I2 square R2. So the total copper loss is equal to I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. However, these are the losses for the full load copper losses. Under full load, we consider the X value is 1. So these losses will be varied with load. Why? Because as the load increases, the current values will be varies. I1 and I2 values will be varies. So because of that reason, these losses will be varied with load. So that's why these copper losses are called as variable losses. So the total copper losses can be represented with any load. X load can be given as x square into I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2, where x is the load. That means that load may be either half load or full load or 1/1/4 load, like that. So this is about the copper losses. Then coming to the total losses, the total losses are nothing but iron losses plus full load copper losses in case of the full load, and iron losses plus x square into full load copper losses. Why? Because we have to consider the load here. We have to consider the load here. Why? Because as the load is directly proportional to current. As the load varies, the current varies. So here the current is square representation. That's why here the copper losses also squarely varied. That means x square times will be varied. So next, coming to the efficiency of the transformer. So what is the efficiency of the transformer? First, what is the efficiency? The efficiency is nothing but ratio of the output power to the input power is nothing but efficiency. So in order to find the efficiency of the transformer, how we get efficiency equal to output power by input power, that equal to output power divided by output power plus losses. So what is the output power? In the output power side we have V2 into I2 into cos phi normally, but that I2 depends on the load, so we can write the x into V into V2 into I2 into cos phi. So we know that V2 into I2 is known as the VA rating of the transformer. So x into VA rating of the transformer, and cos phi is known as the power factor. So cos phi is the power factor. So we can write the output power as x into VA rating of the transformer into power factor. So we know the output power. So what is the input power? Output power plus total losses. So what is the output power? X into VA rating of the transformer into power factor plus what are the losses? Iron losses, that are the fixed losses or constant losses, and the copper losses. Copper losses are normally varied with load, so x square into full load copper losses. Then what is the efficiency? Output power by input power. So x into VA rating of the transformer into power factor divided by output plus losses. So outputs are x into VA rating of the transformer into PF, that means power factor, plus iron losses plus x square into full load copper losses. So next, coming to the condition for the maximum efficiency. So condition for the maximum efficiency. So we know that the efficiency equal to output power by input power. So that output can be represented with input power minus losses. So what is the input? V1 I1 cos phi 1. However, this can be derived in case of the input also. Input equal to output power plus losses in this manner also. So here we go for one way. Better we will try to another way. So input equal to V1 I1 into cos phi 1. Then iron loss is equal to hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. Then the total copper loss is equal to I square R losses, I1 square, and we write the total equivalent resistance, that is R01. That is nothing but R1 plus R2 dash. That means R1 plus R2 by K square. R01 means R1 plus R2 by K square. That means the parameter representation, equivalent circuit parameter representation, refer to primary side resistance, this one. So efficiency equal to input power minus losses divided by input power. So input power is V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus iron losses is omega Wi, sorry, and the copper losses are I1 square R01 divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1. So if you divide everything with denominator, then V1 I1 cos phi 1 divided by V1 I1 cos phi 1, what we get? 1. And similarly minus Wi by V1 I1 cos phi 1, and minus into plus minus I1 square R01 by V1 I1 cos phi 1. So here I1 cancel. So what we get? 1 minus Wi by V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 R01 by V1 cos phi 1. So in order to get the maximum efficiency, what we have to do? We have to do the differentiate with respect to I1 and that will be equal to 0. Then we get the condition for the maximum efficiency. So what is the condition? Differentiation of the efficiency with respect to I1 and that will be equal to 0. So derivative of the 1 minus Wi by V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 R01 by V1 cos phi 1 is equal to 0. So derivative of the 1 is 0. And so here we have to derive the with respect to I1. So remaining things are constant. So we write minus Wi divided by V1 cos phi 1 into derivative of the 1 by I1 is equal to minus 1 by I1 square minus derivative of I1 is, that means dx by dx is nothing but 1. So we write R01 by V1 cos phi 1 this equal to 0. So here minus Wi by V1 I1 square cos phi 1 is equal to R01 by V1 cos phi 1 minus into minus here plus. So Wi by V1 I1 square cos phi 1 is equal to R01 by V1 cos phi 1. So here V1 cos phi 1 and V1 cos phi 1 are cancelled. So Wi by I1 square is equal to R01. Wi by I1 square equal to R01. So Wi equal to I1 square R01. That means iron losses at full load is equal to the copper losses at the full load. Why copper losses I mentioned means if you have the x square, then that is at any load. So if x equal to 1, then that is the full load copper losses. So for maximum efficiency, the condition is full load copper losses are equal to the iron losses, full load iron losses. So then what is the maximum efficiency if you substitute this condition? So output power divided by input. That input is nothing but output power plus Wi plus WCU at full load. So Wi is equal to WCU. So we can write the single Wi at WCU. Then Wi plus Wi equal to 2 Wi. So the maximum efficiency equal to output power divided by output power plus 2 into Wi. This is the maximum efficiency of the transformer. And coming to the regulation, voltage regulation of the transformer, what is the statement of the voltage regulation? The change in the secondary voltage from the no load to full load with respect to the full load voltage. The change in the secondary voltage from no load to full load with respect to the full load voltage is called the voltage regulation of the transformer. So no load secondary voltage is E2 and full load secondary voltage is V2. So the voltage regulation can be given as E2 minus V2 divided by V2. E2 minus V2 divided by V2. So what is the voltage regulation? The change in the secondary voltage from the no load to full load with respect to full load voltage. That means E2 minus V2 divided by V2 is called the voltage regulation of the transformer. So in this what we see means what is the formula for the voltage regulation and how we get the maximum voltage, that means maximum voltage regulation, and similarly zero voltage regulation in this video. So what is the expression for the voltage regulation from the equivalent circuit? What is the expression for the voltage regulation from the equivalent circuit? So this is the equivalent circuit of the transformer from the secondary side. So this one is the E2 and these are the copper conductor parameters, that means R02 and X02, and this is the load. So in this load we have the V2 terminal voltage and the secondary current I2. So by drawing the phasor diagram for this one, what is the E2? E2 is the combination of the I2 into R02 plus I2 into X02 plus V2. So first I write V2. And definitely based upon the load. That means if the load is a unity power factor load, that means resistive load, then V2 in phase with I2. V2 in phase with I2. And if the load is the lagging load, then I2 is lagging by the V2 with some angle, that angle is considered as phi 2 angle. And if the load is the leading load, then I2 is lead by the V2 with some angle, some phi 2, we assume. So here we consider the lagging condition. So then what we get, V2 and the current, secondary current will be lagging by the some phase angle phi 2, then this one is the phi 2 phasor. So in order to get the total E2, we have to add V2 plus I2 into X02 plus I2 into R02. So first we write the I2 R02. So I2 R02 is in phase with the I2. So that's why we write this I2 phasor parallelly, and at the end of the V2, then we get the I2 R02. And the angle between here this line and this line is phi 2. Phi 2, why? Because this angle is phi 2, so this angle is also phi 2. And this I2 R02 and I2 X02 are perpendicular to each other. So we can write this reactance component I2 X02 exactly 90 degrees to the I2 R02. So V2 plus I2 R02 and I2 X02 is gives E2. So that E2 can be written as OA plus AB plus BC also. If you draw the one perpendicular to this, and if you measure the voltage regulation with this line, then OA plus AB plus AC will gives the E2 value. So this is the phasor diagram for the lagging load. If you go for the leading load, then the phasor diagram will be somewhat different. That means we can consider the I2 here. So this I2 R02 drop here, and the perpendicular to the I2 R02 in this manner. So we get E2 in this manner. So that is the phasor diagram for the leading load. So how we derive the voltage regulation of the transformer for the lagging load? So from the vector diagram in the previous diagram, here E2 is equal to, that means OC is equal to OA plus AB plus AC. OA plus AB plus AC. Then what is the OC? E2. And what is the OA? V2. Then what is the AB? Here the angle is phi 2. So it is a right angle triangle. Then if you consider the cos phi 2, then what is the cos phi 2 formula? AB by I2 R02. So what is AB? I2 R02 into cos phi 2. So I2 R02 into cos phi 2. And similarly, this length, BC length. What is the BC length? BC length is, so this one is the phi 2 angle. So we consider this angle. So this one is the phi 2 angle. With this phi 2 angle, we have the, this one is the perpendicular to that this vector and this vector are perpendicular to each other. Then what is the angle between this line and this line is 90 minus 5 by 2. 90 minus 5 by 2. Then the BC length will be, what is the BC length? If you consider the right angle triangle, then the BC length is I2 into X02 into cos of the 90 minus phi 2. This is also cos representation. This representation, this triangle. So this is the one triangle. So this is the right angle triangle, and the angle is 90 minus 5 by 2. So this one is the opposite side, and this one is the adjacent side. So cos 90 minus phi 2 is equal to DE divided by this line, this hypotenuse. So that this hypotenuse, then what is the this DE? This DE is nothing but cos of the 90 minus phi 2 into I2 X02. This hypotenuse is nothing but I2 X02. So from this, what is the DE? I2 X02 into cos of 90 minus phi 2. So this DE is equal to BC. So that's why we can write the BC equal to I2 X02 into cos 90 minus phi 2. So cos 90 minus phi 2 means sin phi 2. So this is the vector representation. But this is the case of the lagging load. If you go for the leading load, here we get minus sign. If we go for the leading load, here we get minus sign. So from this, E2 equal to V2 plus I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 plus I2 into X02 into sin phi 2. So E2 minus V2 equal to I2 into R02 cos phi 2 plus I2 into X02 sin phi 2. So secondary voltage from this equation we can get a secondary voltage also. So when the voltage regulation formula equal to E2 minus V2 divided by V2 into 100. This is the formula. So from this formula we have I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 plus or minus I2 into X02 into sin phi 2 divided by V2 into 100. So here plus is for lagging load and minus is for leading load. So from this formula we can derive the voltage regulation condition for the voltage regulation, that is for the maximum voltage regulation and for the minimum voltage regulation, that is zero voltage regulation. So first one is condition for the maximum voltage regulation. So this is the formula for the voltage regulation for the lagging load and leading load. Here we have the positive sign for lagging load and a negative sign for the leading load. So forget the maximum voltage regulation, what we do, just simply we can derive the equation, voltage regulation equation with respect to I2 and make that one equal to 0. Then we get d by di2 of voltage regulation is equal to 0. Then d by di2 of I2 into R02 cos phi 2 plus, here we consider the lagging load, whereas in case of the minimum voltage regulation we consider the leading load, I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 plus I2 into X02 into sin phi 2 divided by V2. So we take common as the I2. Why? Because V2. Why? Because here we can go for the derivation with respect to I2, not with respect to V2. So V2 we consider as a constant. So we move that V2 here. Then d by d phi 2 of I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 plus I2 into X02 into sin phi 2 is equal to 0. This V2 will goes to this side and that will be equal to 0, and derivative of the I2 R02 and derivation of the cos phi 2 is minus sin phi 2. So minus I2 into R02 sin phi 2 plus I2 X02, derivation of the sin phi 2 is cos phi 2. So if you move this I2 into R02 into sin phi 2 this side, then I2 into R02 sin phi 2 is equal to I2 into X02 cos phi 2. So I2 cancel, then we get R02 sin phi 2 is equal to X02 cos phi 2. So sin phi 2 divided by cos phi 2 equal to tan phi 2, that equal to X02 by R02. So for getting the maximum voltage regulation, the load angle phi 2 should be tan inverse of X02 by R02. X02 by R02. And similarly for the minimum voltage regulation, so normally the minimum voltage regulation can be obtained in the leading or the capacitive loads. So we can consider the voltage regulation equation for the leading case, that means minus sign here. Then I2 into R02 minus cos phi 2 minus I2 into X02 into sin phi 2 by V2 is equal to 0. That means 0 voltage regulation. Then I2 into R02 into cos phi 2 is equal to I2 into X02 into sin phi 2. So I2 cancel. Then tan phi 2 equal to R02 by X02. So the voltage regulation of the transformer is minimum when the load angle is tan inverse of R02 by X02. Here we have the maximum. This is the wrong statement. For the minimum regulation, that means 0 voltage regulation, the load angle should be tan inverse of R02 by X02. For maximum regulation, the load angle should be tan inverse of X02 by R02 we consider. So next, one more topic is there, that means the transformer KVA. Why the transformer rating is in KVA? Why means in the transformer we have the copper losses and iron losses. These copper losses are depends on the current and the iron losses are depends on the voltage. Those are not depends on the phase angle between the voltage and current. So that's why we represent the transformer ratings normally in KVA instead of kilowatts. So with this we complete the transformer losses, efficiency and regulation, maximum efficiency and condition for the maximum voltage regulation and zero voltage regulation, and why the transformers are represented in kVA. So in the next video we will see about the various tests on the transformers. Thank you.